It's so small. Hey everyone, Kenji here, and today I am going to be giving you my in-depth review of the Deity V-Mic D4 Duo. Now, as you heard from other videos, I was waiting for this guy for a long time. I have been using this and I actually really like it a lot, and I want you guys to hear all the reasons why. And also, one little thing that bugged me a little bit about this. So why don't we get into it? The first thing that I want to do is I want to go over all the different things that this microphone came with. I had the full unboxing video that I can link down below, but I do want to give a really quick recap on this. So, out of the box, this thing comes with, of course, the microphone itself. It comes with the shock mount. It comes with a yellow TRRS to TRRS cable, and it comes with a front dead cat and a rear dead cat. Now, if you know nothing about this microphone actually has two mics on it, one in the front and one in the back. That is the reason why it comes with two dead cats. So what I want to do is I first want to let you hear some of the raw audio samples that I recorded with my iPhone. And before I show you those samples, I want to talk a little bit about how I did my testing. What I did is I took my cell phone and I hooked this microphone up to it. And I stood in the middle of my backyard facing toward an open field. The reason why I did this is because I didn't want to have a bunch of echoes that might be coming off of a brick wall or from all the various floors and ceilings and walls inside my studio. I wanted to be in more of an outdoor environment that people tend to actually vlog in a lot of times. So by being in my backyard facing toward an open field, I felt it was a decent enough setting to do the testing of this microphone. Now, when I was actually doing this test, what I did was I had this microphone on a small little tripod, and I was holding it about 20 inches from my face, about just like this. And try to keep this all in frame for you. So what I was doing is I would basically have the microphone facing directly towards me, and then I would do a test. Then I would face it off to the left, and then I would do another test. And then I would face it away from me, do a third test, and have it off to the right to do one last test. And of course, and then I also face it back towards me again. But what I wanted everyone to hear with this microphone is me doing the test with the microphone facing in different directions, so you can actually get a feel for yourself with how this microphone is with noise rejection. And I didn't just do it with just the bare microphone. What I wanted to do was I wanted to do a test with this microphone as well as with the Deadcats on it. And actually, one more thing I wanted to let you know before we get into the audio samples is that this microphone does have the ability to switch between recording or should I say enabling the microphone on both the front and the rear. Or you can flip this little switch right here, right on the front. You can flip it down, and then when you do that, it only records the front microphone only. So I did a test where I had both microphones enabled, the front and the rear, and I did it without the dead cats. Then I did another test with the same front and rear microphones enabled with the dead cats. And then I also did the same test where I had only the front microphone enabled, and I did that without the dead cats, and then I did the same test with the dead cats. That is how I was actually doing the tests. So here we go. Here are the tests. Hi, Kenji here, and right now we are going to be doing a test with the Deity D4 Duo without the dead cats. So right now it is just the bare microphone in an outside environment, and I am going to be doing a test with the microphone facing away from me, to the side, facing away from me, and also to the other side. With the first test that I am going to be doing is going to have both the front and rear mics enabled. The second test I am going to do, which is going to be the same setup as the first, except that only the front microphone is going to be enabled. The rear one is not. So here's the first test with both the front and back microphones enabled. Double checking that. Okay, so front and back microphones enabled. It is facing directly towards me, about 20 inches from my face. Testing, testing, testing. Gonna turn it to the left. Testing, testing, testing. And I'm gonna face it away from me. Testing, testing, testing. And then I'm gonna face it off to the right. Testing, testing, testing. I'm gonna face it back towards me again. Testing, testing, testing. Now I am going to disable the rear microphone. I apologize for any static you might hear as I do this. So now just the front microphone is enabled. So let's do another test. It is facing directly towards me, about 20 inches from my face. Testing, testing, testing. Now I'm gonna face it off to the left. Testing, testing, testing. I'm gonna face it directly away from me. Testing, testing, testing. Then I'm gonna face it off to the right. Testing, testing, testing. I'm gonna face it directly back towards me again. Testing, testing, testing. So this concludes the test of the Deity D4 Duo without the Deadcats on, with both mics, the front and rear mics enabled, and also with just the front mic enabled. Hi, Kenji here, and right now we are going to be doing a test of the Deity D4 Duo, and we are going to be doing a test with the included 2 Deadcats, and we are going to be doing a test with just the front mic, and also with a test with the front and back mic, so you can hear how the noise rejection is as I basically take this mic and I turn it to the left and back and also to the side, so so you can see how the noise rejection is on this microphone and how the sound quality is. So I'm holding the microphone about 20 inches from my face, and we are going to be doing a test. Right now it is facing directly towards me, and I'm just double checking. Hold on one second. Yes, I was just double checking that the front and rear mic are both enabled. So here we go. It is facing directly towards me. Testing, testing, testing. Now I'm going to face it off to the left. Testing, testing, testing. Now I'm going to face it away from me, so now the rear mic is facing towards me. Testing, testing, testing. Now I'm going to face it off to the other side, to the right. Testing, testing, testing. And now the front mic is facing back towards me again. Testing, testing, testing. And this is with the Deadcat. I want to flip the switch so that the only the front microphone is going to be enabled. So I'm going to do that right now. So there's a little switch on the side. Sorry for any weird sounds that's coming out. Alright, so now the switch is flipped, so only the front microphone is enabled. So let's see how the noise rejection is with this. So right now the microphone, or should I say the front microphone is facing directly towards me. So it's testing, testing, testing. And I'm going to face it off to the left. Testing, testing, testing. I'm going to face it directly behind me. Testing, testing, testing. And I'm going to flip around to the right. Testing, testing, testing. Now I am going to face it back towards me again. Testing, testing, testing. So this is with the Deity D4 Duo with just the front microphone enabled with the Deadcats turned on. So we're back, and I want to actually hear what your thoughts are on those tests. Just want to leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And next, let's actually get into the things that I like about this microphone. This microphone is really, really interesting because Deity was actually very innovative with how they actually developed this microphone. Most of the microphones in this sort of caliber, should I say, or this size, they normally just have one microphone on the front. Whereas Deity decided that they would actually develop a microphone that has a front microphone and a back microphone. So it's really good if you are trying to do some sort of interview with someone and you have the microphone, let's say, facing towards them, and you have the camera over here. Now, when you do that, you are most likely going to be much closer to the back microphone than you are to the front microphone. And Deity thought of this. So what they did is they made it so that the rear microphone is actually 10 decibels lower than the front microphone. So therefore, when you are doing the recording, the voice of the person that is in front of the camera is going to be about the same level as the person who's actually doing the recording. So I thought that was actually very, very good of the engineers over at Deity. They also, here I'm gonna actually pull this out of the mount really quick. And Deity also was very, very good at thinking about only enabling the front microphone so that you can just move this little switch over to the front, and then that's only going to enable this front microphone. Now, when you do that, that is really good, because then the noise rejection on the back is much better when you are only recording with the front microphone, and that's really how it should be, right? But they also made it so that what you can do is when you are recording with the back microphone, you can also, right over here, they have an input jack over here. And this is actually really, really special, because this input jack can actually be connected up to another microphone. So if, let's say, you have a wireless lav mic, you can actually hook that up to this input over here, and then have this microphone on your camera, and it could be recording, let's say, the sounds of you like chopping out a cutting board or something like that, and then the sound of your voice will actually travel through the wireless lav mic into this microphone and get recorded all into the camera. And that, I think, is very innovative. They really thought about that hard, and it shows. I don't think I've ever seen any other microphone really do that. Normally, microphone manufacturers, they just do one thing. They just build a microphone and they just try to get the best sound quality out of it. And we'll get back to the sound quality in just a second. But the fact that they were thinking in that sort of direction is actually really great, because there's nothing else out there that can do what this little guy does. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the sound quality. The sound quality of this microphone is excellent. Something that I noticed was that the Deadcats on the actual mic, they really didn't change the sound pickup of the front and back microphones at all. And I thought that was actually really, really good, because I've seen much cheaper mics that come with Deadcats, and they change the sound of the microphone. And sometimes that might be kind of good if you like the sound that comes out of it, but to be honest, Deadcats really probably shouldn't be changing the sound of the microphone at all. It should pretty much only be blocking the sound of the wind. And these Deadcats, they block the sound of the wind. Granted, the test wasn't really on a windy day, but I didn't really get any wind noise on it, and it didn't really change the sound of the microphone at all. Now, something that I did want to talk about a little bit was when you do have this set up in a configuration where it is recording with the front and the rear microphone, I did notice that the pickup is slightly different as the mic is facing towards me. And I think that's the reason why is because it's using both microphones and it's mixing that into a stereo channel. So when I was re-listening to it, it sounded slightly different than when I only had the front microphone enabled. It still sounded good, but it was just a little bit different. Now, like, I only bring that up because if you pick up this microphone, I just want you to think about how you're using it and to make sure that you are using the correct configuration on this microphone, depending on what you're doing, right? If you are only recording something that is coming straight into the front microphone, then disable that rear mic. Otherwise, it's going to change the sound slightly, and you're going to get sound pickup from the rear mic that you don't necessarily want to be inside of the rest of your audio. The second thing that I want to bring up is that this actually comes with a shock mount, and the shock mount is a pretty decent one. I didn't really notice too much of sound when I was actually trying to handle the tripod that the microphone was on. I did notice a little bit, but it really wasn't terribly bad at all. So I think that this shock mount is pretty good, and I'm very happy with it. The third thing, or I don't know, third, fourth. I can't count today. The next thing that I want to say is that the price of this thing is actually really good. This is $99, and granted, it is more expensive than the Rode Video Micro, which I think comes in somewhere around $59. But to me, what you get for this microphone and the quality that you get with this microphone is totally worth the extra $40. And I don't think microphones go around breaking on you all the time. And this thing's built pretty well too. So to be honest, you really should just spend the extra $40 and get this microphone because it has so much flexibility with using both the front and rear microphones, or whether you want to use like a external microphone with some like wireless lab mics. There's just so many things you could do with this microphone that you can't do with the Rode Video Micro. And the last thing is price. I mean, this thing comes at $99, just like I said before. It comes in at a decent price point that it's not going to break the bank. It is a little bit more expensive than some of the super cheap ones out there, but as I said before, I think it's worth it. Now let's go ahead and talk about the things I don't like about this microphone. Something that I don't like is that it doesn't come with a TRRS to TRRS connector. It only comes with a TRRS to TRRS cable. And when I first did a test on my iPhone with this, I plugged this in. So I had one of these little dongles over here. So it allows me to plug in a cable into the lightning jack on my phone, right? So when I did this and I plugged this into the microphone and I did my test and then I listened to it, I thought it sounded like kind of blah, like I didn't really like the sound of it. And then I noticed that as I turned the microphone around in front of me, I was getting almost no noise rejection. And like the sound sounded like every single test, like the sound from the front, sound to the side, sound to the back, these sounded exactly the same. And that really baffled me. Like I thought that I might actually have like a bad microphone or something like that. And then I realized that when I was using the included TRRS to TRRS adapter, that it wasn't actually using the mic input into my phone. And when I thought about it, it makes sense. You need a TRRS cable in order to get that to work. So what I did was I thankfully had one of these guys around, and I'm gonna include a link to this inside my review below, because if you get one of these microphones and you want to use this with your phone, I don't want you to be disappointed. Get one of these cables and you will be very, very happy. So this is a TRRS to TRRS to TRRS cables. So if you notice, the tip over here has 3 segments to it, and this side over here has 4 segments to it. That 4th segment is for the microphone. So this is the side that goes into your phone. This is the side that goes into the microphone. And so I do find it interesting that they didn't include one of these cables with the microphone. Like, to me, like, it would have been a no-brainer. People vlog on their phones all the time, and like, I don't even know if they've gotten like multiple different people asking to return the microphone because it doesn't sound very good, and it's only because they were using the included cable with their phone. So that is something that I actually don't like about this microphone kit that they sent you, or that I bought, is that they didn't include all the different cables that you would probably need. Now, if you were to use this cable and plug it into your camera, I think you would probably be fine, because a dedicated microphone input would have actually worked properly. But if you're just using a phone where it has one jack for both the sound and the microphone, then you're gonna be really disappointed that you don't actually have the correct cable, and you're gonna have to go to the store and get one, which means that you can't use this mic for several days until you actually get that package in the mail. I did want to say that once I actually use the correct cable with the phone and the microphone, the sound on the microphone is very, very good. So I was very happy with the microphone. I was just not happy that they didn't include this cable in with the package, because that probably would have cost them probably only cents, because they could have bulk ordered them. And the last thing that I would probably say that I wish that they included in this package was a foam windscreen. Sometimes these Deadcats can be a little bit bulky, and a lot of times you don't need it, but you need some sort of wind protection. So it would be really nice if they actually included a small foam windscreen for the front and back microphones on top of the full Deadcats. But it's not a deal breaker. That is just something that I thought would have been nice. The really big dislike was really having everything to do with the included cables. Let's go ahead and talk about my final thoughts on this microphone. Should you buy this microphone? My answer to you is definitely get this microphone. I have other cheaper microphones, but the quality on this one to me is a lot higher, and the size on it is really, really good. And it is extremely innovative the way that they have incorporated both a front and rear mic, as well as the ability to turn off the rear mic or use the rear mic but be able to redirect it to an input jack that you can use with an external mic. I mean, that is just tremendous. And for 99 bucks, to me, like, it's a no-brainer. If you don't have any mic at all, definitely get one of these, because it's always good to have a microphone that you don't require a battery to use. It's extremely small, fits in your pocket, so it's great for vlogging. And it only has one small downfall, where you really have to purchase one of these additional cables over here, which I'm going to link down below. But other than that, I mean, this is just a tremendous mic. So definitely pick one of these up. You won't be disappointed. If you have any thoughts or questions about this microphone, I'd be happy to answer them for you. Just go ahead and ask them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out a lot. And until next time, take care.